I'm Karl Brazil. It's great to be in France, Paris again. Played here many times. But, this is a pretty special venue, the Bercy, so it's good to be back and it's great to meet you. Well, yeah, I didn't know I was going to be professional, but it was all I wanted. So I used to come home from school and run up the road, and I had until 6 o'clock to practice in the garage. And my dad sort of made this soundproof room, which wasn't that soundproof because the neighbours were still shut up, you know. But he made it. Dad was great. He made a real effort to make me this room, and I had until 6 o'clock to play. And I always thought in my head, when I used to put my earphones on and so which band am I going to play with tonight? And it could be Journey, or it could have been the Eagles, or Mr. even. It could have been anyone, but it was all great stuff. And I used to run up that road just thinking I'm going to close my eyes and be in that band tonight. And then I guess once I got to a certain stage and you realise we're playing with other people. When I was a kid, people were like, yeah, he's good for his age, you know, and it gave me a bit of confidence. And in my head, I was wondering how I was going to get to do what I'm doing now. I was like, how do you do that? It's $1 million question. Every kid now asks me, how do I get a job with so-and-so or Justin Bieber or whatever? I don't. And there's no particular path, really. You kind of have to just get into the world, play, meet people, and hopefully everyone gets an opportunity at some stage. But in my head, I think I always thought I was going to do something. I just didn't know what. And ironically, I auditioned for Robbie Williams when I was 17, I think, 17 or 18. It's actually on YouTube. Go and have a look at it. But it's, I had long hair, ponytail, lots of spots, terrible clothes. So I went in and played, and I did all right, but I was too young for the gig. And funny, because Guy Chambers is the MD now, and when I said to him, do you know I came on audition years and years ago? He went, really? I said, yeah, that's me. And now here I am on the gig after all those years. It's bizarre circle. But yeah, I guess I don't know what I'd do if I wasn't playing drums. I have no idea. I'd be something in music, but yeah, there's no stopping me from doing what I'm doing, that's for sure. So playing on the Heavy Entertainment Show with Robbie is a high energy gig. It's very expressive. I mean, literally from the first bar, it's bang, it's a big show. He's just like the modern day Elvis, and requires an energetic band, requires everyone to be on the game. There's not really room for error on a tour like this. Any big gig, I don't think. I think you have 2 hours to play on stage. So the focus and playing to clicks and keeping the groove, not dropping a beat. Okay, for stick breaks, you can't help that. But I like to pride myself on not making a mistake. I'd really beat myself up if something's happened. And things do happen. We all make mistakes. But I think it's a good mindset to just say, I'm a professional. This is what I do. And it's a bit like being a footballer and telling yourself that you're not going to give the ball away. That's a similar example. But I also think, like I just said a moment ago, playing at this level, these shows we've been doing stadium shows, and there's kind of, I've noticed in the bigger the space with the drum sound, as soon as you put too much in, if everybody's putting too much in, it just sounds a mush out front. So I've started making fills bigger by just giving them space. So that, instead of, because it just, as much as I want to do that, it just doesn't come across. It just sounds like what? Just a bit of a mush. So good example of that sort of drumming, who I love. I love you, Mickey Curry, Bryan Adams. What a drummer. And that's it. He's the perfect example of playing tasty fills, like less is more thing, you know. So I've found playing with James and Robbie, even though they're both very different gigs, they both require extremely good body clock timekeeping and listening to the artist, listening to when they're talking, to when you start songs at the right place, and watching for an ending in case he's doing something in the air with the crowd, or in James's case, he might want to pull a tempo back, and so keeping an eye on the artist all the time is essential, I think, as a drummer.